Welcome to your magical moon messages as the peace dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this transmission. I am not from this planet at all. I infiltrated this dimension to service the lower planes and express the truth, just like you're tapping into extra dimensional facets of yourself, in which case, in certain rare instances, some of you, instead of dealing with aliens, actually are aliens. Okay, I actually wanted to start this video. What I was gonna start this video off as was, welcome to your magical moon message. This is the new karmic cycle of success that will take you to extraordinary levels in your life, but also complete a very important cycle that you started 2 years ago, 2020. Really, also last year, and I will get to that in a minute. But instead of just building up to this, I'm just gonna flat out tell you this, because you're gonna hear a lot of things from a lot of people about this new moon. But the only thing significant that I can tell you, aliens. I want you to consider what it means to be alien, because you can be, extra you could be extraterrestrial, like from another planet, but then you could be out of this world, literally out of this whole universal construct. Not like you're from Mars in the conventional way we see an alien, but like from out of this physical material construct. That's what all Aquarians represent. Alien frequencies before the vibrations beyond anything that exists in Pisces, with which we can imagine through the causal realm of our mind, where all is universal and all is mind, apparently. But aliens, I really just want you to think aliens. You might be tempted to look up waiting for an invasion, but like more than like aliens already walk amongst us, and the invasion is right under your nose. A whole age of celestials are being born within children, and even in a malevolent sense, frequencies are being emitted at waves that are not able to be comprehended by most people, which is subtly, literally controlling their mind, whether through broadcast media entertainment or maybe just like a higher cosmic being invading somebody's brain space, subtly creating the source of their thoughts as if they're thinking it themselves. Something that here would just seem like crazy, but to a celestial, that's just like a regular afternoon. They're probably pimping other human vessels. And this is why when you know who you are, you can understand which thoughts are yours and which aren't. The reason why I use that example is because there's a whole generation of children that exist born after 98 with Uranus and Neptune and Aquarius that can discern those frequencies. So like they may be able to see these frequencies of people getting mind controlled, and literally with Pluto and Sagittarius, they can see it. But maybe people think they're batshit crazy because it's like nobody else believes that. Well, welcome to the cycle that's going to institute that and tap you into your extra dimensional self and the interconnectivity of existence and in your multi-dimensional nature. We can say you have an alien self. We call it the higher self, but you have a facet of yourself that exists outside of this construct. And we know this is true because you can close your eyes and you can imagine anything. It's this facet of yourself that is tapped in through Uranus, which is trans-Saturnian. meaning it's after Saturn, like Neptune. And Saturn, which is representative of the material reality and construct and system with which governs the laws of physics and nature, but really the laws of nature. Uranus is like outside of that. And so it's invisible. I won't say it can't be seen, but you can't see it. It's at a quantum level. You can't really see like a Planck length. And so it's quantum in that non-local sense where you're tapping into this genius sense of yourself that is past the self-actualization of Capricorn, in a sense, the future you, outside of the panoramic chronology of you living out your time construct. Anyway, you're going to engage and literally tap in directly more with that MFer than you've ever had. In the case that you're an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius MC, you are embodying that. You're an alien, basically. And the reason why this is important is because you may see this reflected in relationships with other people where you're like a guardian angel versus other people where Aquarius is in their chart. That energy will form through their relationships with other people or aspects in other people. Like if it was in their sixth house as a Virgo rising, then it's like their job or an assistant or something like that. But there's not just one way. There's literally an infinite number of ways this plays out. I just want to throw these concepts out here because there is a secret mission that you're literally coming into today. Every year we have this Sun-Saturn cycle. It's a yearly mission. It's not as simple as that, though. It's a karmic cycle that happens in every sign. We usually will get like 3 or 4 in a transit. And so we had 2020 and then we had 2021. It's just now with Mars and Venus coming back through. This is a completion of a karmic cycle that a lot of you have like worked really hard for, especially while going through maybe the greatest psyop in human history. And so this is you simultaneously re-signing a contract to the universe to now fulfill this karma while also coming into the rewards for 2020 and 2021. 2021, when you renegotiated on this contract in February, Mars was still like halfway through the zodiac. So it wasn't complete like it is now in Capricorn. So like many of you may not fully be aware of the fact that this cycle is literally bringing in some of the most extraordinary success than you may be used to. It's just with success and greatness, there's a consequence for that. In Aquarius, maintenance. And so new moons are new cycles. With Saturn, you want to see this as not even, I don't want you to look at it as signing a new contract because that's more Capricorn. This is an Aquarius. So you want to think of this as the totality of the universe, God, putting you in a position to give you a secret mission. Mars is behind this in the 12th house. So this is like a 007 Mission Impossible secret mission that only you can do because there's only one you. And so you have gained sufficient knowledge about the connections you have in this life. And don't worry, if a lot of you are wondering, what's that mission? You're going to receive this mission, okay? On the new moon, like today and tomorrow. It's going to literally unfold. The culmination of this in Saturn is crystallizing the totality, Saturn, of all the knowledge that now Jupiter is in Pisces, is completing the full understanding for how to unfold your life. For so many of you that haven't really been clear about what to do, it's starting now. Like this is the new cycle of knowledge that Saturn is completing. But you need to see this as a karmic cycle that's complete. You're going to see this evidenced in karmic relations, patterns that are done because you're getting ready to step into literally like this is actually lit. This is actually really dope. And depending on where it is in your natal chart is where you'll see this play out, depending on what house it's in. Like if it's in their 7th house, because you're a Leo rising, you're completing a long string of karmic partnerships and the way you actually deal with other people, because they coming for Leos, and Leo rising unscrupulous. But yes, holla at me, get a reading if you want to know exactly how this plays out. But regardless of that, Saturn is in Aquarius, a new cycle of extraordinary success. So the game plan and the knowledge of what you're coming into to complete this karmic cycle is unfolding. By Leo season in August through Jupiter coming in Aries and the North Node eclipse in Taurus, this aspect of this karmic cycle that you're coming into the knowledge of, you're going to be performing socially to other people in August. You're going to be completing that before you come back around and come into the very last karmic cycle. We're coming into one more completion of this contractual obligation universally, and that's next year, right before Saturn goes into Pisces, and it's the end of the literal fucking world. It is the literal end of the fucking world. Pluto's gonna be in Aquarius. You're gonna see this bit. You're gonna see revelations in this bitch. Okay? Do you hear me? And so, aliens, you're probably an alien watching me right now. Let's just be honest. And this is stepping you into the supernatural in a way that's going to manifest a metaphysical experience through supernatural phenomena where you're not just left in the dark anymore. Like, you've seen so many master numbers, you're like, oh my gosh, leave me alone, Metatron, leave me alone. And the angels are just going to be like, ha ha ha, here's your mission. I feel like some of you are going to step into more purpose, because it's very important to really forgive yourself. I think a lot of you are being really hard on yourself for being thrust into not only one of the greatest psyops in human history, where at the core of your life you've been gaslighted unnecessarily, which has happened to literally everyone in the world, collective conflict, but the way you handled it individually carved your character, Uranus and Taurus, through your values. And the reason why this is important is many of you may not really be acknowledging that you're being forced. Not necessarily that that's a bad thing, but pressure is pushing you to do things before they're tested and before you have any understanding of how to make sense of it, because you're the only one doing it, and like you don't have anything to prove to people. And so the fact that despite how difficult these times were, you like a boss just kind of still made it happen and still are succeeding. You're going to be aware of your shortcomings, but like you don't want to be hard on yourself, because you're a badass. You are a gangster. You're an extraordinary gangster, especially for those of you who really hit goals. Like, you want to see this period as making plans. If there was any new moon that you want to really make plans for the year ahead, this is like where you make your New Year resolution. But I want to make sure we're clear. You are signing a contractual obligation to the universe that you have to karmically fulfill, because Pluto is now 12th house to this, and like Hades will kill you. Now, I don't want to say that to fear you, because there's no way you're not going to do this, because the North Node is in Taurus. So like, Saturn is like the cosmic gangster here in Aquarius that already knows how it's going down. And because Saturn represents liberation, this is the keys to freedom. Anyone who doesn't like Saturn is either immature because they haven't finished their Saturn return, which is reasonable, or they're a sack of shit that just can't be held accountable for anything. So like, other than that, Saturn is good. Saturn wants to set you free, and you're literally stepping into this because you did the work through Saturn in Capricorn. We went through those hard cycles 2020. That was not easy, B. That was not easy at all. That was not easy at all. 2019, no, and you did it. So like, you want to see this as accomplishment, because next month we're gonna have the Jupiter cycle. That's gonna be lit. Do you know that's gonna be lit? That's like March 2nd is gonna be lit. It's probably gonna be chaotic, and we might be in war, and it's gonna be really scary in some cases. But despite the fact that the world is going through an apocalypse and burning in front of your face, enjoy. It's gonna be very lit. I feel like it's gonna be more hopeful, and you're gonna learn to this is gonna teach you to look at all the bad things as good, because it's like a necessary evil. Other than that, this is not only activating the totality of knowledge to step you fully into your greatest self, as Mars in Capricorn helps you use your superpowers in this transcendent manner, But it's also going to integrate the full awareness of aliens and higher extra dimensional beings as you step into this mission impossible, which, should you choose to accept, will exalt you into the annals of legends. Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen.